Your SEO is only going to be as good as the keyword phrase that you select to optimize around. You might be using the SEO plugin and practicing good SEO tactics on your website and off your website. You may even be doing keyword research or paying for tools that help you do keyword research. But ultimately, you can get a count of how frequently some keywords and keyword phrases are used. But if you don't know how to choose the best keyword phrase for a page or post or product listing on your website, all that keyword research and time spent is for naught. So in this video, we're going to talk about 5 tips for choosing the right keyword phrase for the content on your page. So first of all, I want to start with saying just a basic understanding of keyword phrases and how they function with SEO. So the keyword phrase that you're researching for is the phrase that then someone would type into Google or Bing or Yahoo in order to find that content that's on that page or blog post or product listing on your website. So I've always likened SEO and understanding SEO and the keyword phrase part of things to what does the survey say? Just like the game show Family Feud. Because that's ultimately what you're trying to figure out. You're trying to figure out what words and phrases someone who is looking for what it is that you sell would sit down and type into that search query to then find the answer to that question, find the solution to the problem, find the product that it is that they're looking for. So that's the essence of SEO and the keyword phrase that you are trying to search for. So it might kind of feel like trying to find a needle in a haystack or the unicorn, but that really is your goal with your SEO. So keep in mind, you're not going to be ranking spot 1, page 1 for every single page and post and product on your website. But over time, if you are utilizing good SEO practices, you should have lots of links on your site that are ranking very well. So in no particular order, let's go through these 5 tips for helping you select the right SEO keyword phrase to use on any given page or post on your website. So first, let's start with talking about looking at the number of searches. So I prefer to just stick to google.com. It's easy. It's the most current thing out there, and it's very precise with the count of searches that occur for whatever the search query is or the keyword phrase that you've entered. I think it's easier for small business owners, who are the people who I work with, to manage because you're not worried about third-party tools and understanding how to use third-party tools and paying for third-party tools. Plus, third-party tools are only as good as they are updated. I recently saw that the Yoast Seo plugin is finally trying to make some changes to match up with the semantic search changes that Google has made years ago. I'm not going to go down the SEO plugin road right now, but Yoast, I've had issues with Yoast for a long time because I think it fools people into a false sense of SEO security. And it gives you all green lights when green isn't really what you should be going for, because you shouldn't have repeated keyword phrases over and over and over and over and over. That's robotic. That's the old way of doing SEO. And Yoast, until now, I guess they're working on this to come out in late 2018, early 2019. Yoast is finally making some changes to recognize those semantic, those conversational variations, because Google has been functioning in that semantic way for a while now. So, I think Google.com is just the easiest and it's the most precise way to go. Plus, the count of searches is a lot more precise than some of those other tools you might use. A lot of times people, if they use, even if it's like the keyword planner tool, there's really big jumps in numbers that you see. So it kind of feels like, well, how precise are these counts of keyword phrases when they're using even another Google product? So when you perform a search on google.com, it'll give you in gray text underneath that query bar where you've entered what it is you're looking for. It'll give you a count. So by instinct, you might feel like that you should pick the thing that gets the most, right? But just because it has the highest count doesn't mean that it's going to be the best thing for whatever the content is on your page. Also, the highest count means it has the most competition. So there's pros and cons to each situation. So you do want to look at that though, because it's going to give you an idea of how popular or unpopular something is. And as you start doing some searches for different variations of that keyword phrase, you might see some huge swings in that count. So that's a good place to start when you are doing some research for those SEO keyword phrases. So the next thing is, anyone who has used Google knows that once you start typing, Google auto-suggests. This is another excellent way to find good keyword phrases to use for the SEO on whatever page it is that you're trying to optimize on your website. Because you might see a keyword phrase suggested to you that you hadn't even crossed your mind before, but it might end up being a better fit both in terms of number of searches as well as representative of the content on your page than the original keyword phrase that you were considering. So look at those auto suggestions and see if something in there might be a better fit for you. So the third tip is to make sure you go long-tailed. Long-tailed meaning it's a few words to a phrase, like almost like a sentence is really what you want to focus on. So the long-tailed keyword phrases are much more specific. Because if you have a very specific topic you're talking about, that means that the count is going to be lower for that long-tailed phrase. However, if someone's looking and searching for something that really matches that long-tailed phrase, they're going to be far more like precise in the kind of person that you're really looking for. You know, like their query and their intent much more closely matches what it is that you have if you are also using that same long-tailed keyword phrase. So a great example of this, and this also kind of ties back to the first point about the count of searches, you might have a doggy daycare business and you're like, well, dogs, I need to just optimize for the word dogs. Well, dogs has almost 3 billion searches. So if you use something more specific with far fewer count of searches, like dog grooming or dog daycare insert whatever your city name is, it's going to be much more specific to find people who are searching on Google not just about dogs, but about dog daycare businesses in their area. So that's a great example, like I said, both of the count of searches along with being more long-tailed, because you're not just looking at dogs, but you're looking for dog daycare services in whatever your location is. So the next thing is usually, this is sort of loosely stated, the keyword phrase that you are choosing, assuming you are going long tail with it also, a lot of times that's going to be the same thing you're going to use in your title tag. And your title tag is, if you're looking in Google search results, that top blue bolded line is your title tag. So that title tag is also going to be used as the alt tag on the first image that's on that page. It's also going to be incorporated into the headings on your page. And it, or very natural conversational variations of it, are going to be used throughout the content of your page, the actual text that's on the page. So that title tag is really important. It also is what gets you ranked. So there's lots of elements to SEO. So you have your title tag, your permalink, which is a direct link to that page or that blog post or that product listing. And then you'll have your meta description. That's the smaller gray text that shows up beneath that blue title tag in Google search results. So those are all the three things, the title tag, permalink, and meta description, that you actually see in Google search results. But it's only the title tag that gets you ranked. It's the meta description that gets you that click through, because people read more about what the description of that page is, and then they decide to click through. So, the title tag, a lot of times you have to think about how people Google. So your title tag / your long tail keyword phrase. If you're writing a how-to post or a post that explains what or why, you might say how to do X. That's how people tend to Google. They Google how to do this, or why is that, or reasons for this. So since that's how people Google, those are the kinds of long-tailed keyword phrases that you're searching for with your SEO. And since your title tag is what gets you ranked, that's why most of the time what you choose for that long-tailed phrase is what you're going to also have for your title tag. And your title tag maxes out at 60-ish characters. Google just doesn't want people stuffing their title tag area with a whole bunch of keywords in an attempt to rank. So it cuts off, it stops reading after those 60 characters. So that's just one more point about the title tag as it relates to the long-tailed keyword phrase that you're searching for. So the fifth point would be check the search results for similar listings. So say I get through all 4 steps and I'm like, okay, I think this is the right keyword phrase to use for the SEO. Then I'm going to actually type that into Google and read what the search results are that pull up for it. Because you might find that the way you would describe something, and it might have checked out in other ways, like it gets a great number of searches and you feel like it does represent your content on your page. But you might find that some of the results on that page really aren't the same things than what it is that you're talking about. So to give a more logical example of this, or so it's not just so tangential and out there, is in social media management. So obviously this is specific to my industry, but if you look for social media management, you're going to find listings for those third-party tools that offer social media management posting, like the Buffers and the Hootsuites and the Sprout Socials. And you're also going to find firms like mine that offer the social media management services. So that's a great example of how you might mean it to be this, but half of the search results that pull up for that search phrase are really talking about something else. So that is kind of the last check that you want to do before you officially decide what SEO keyword phrase to go with for that page. So if you have any questions about SEO keyword phrases and how to select them, or SEO in general, please go ahead and leave them in the comments below. If not, you all have a great rest of your day. Bye.